Hello, my name is Paul Brantley, and I've served as a Vice President of the Seventh Adventist Church in North America. I've got a question for you. What drives your church? Is it activity-driven, church calendar out of control, retreats, special days, rehearsals, church events? Some churches are controversy-driven. Women's ordination is only one example. Still other churches are personality-driven. The church takes on the stamp of the pastor or some powerful member. Maybe your church is finance-driven. You got to pay off the mortgage or keep the church school open and out of debt. Today I'd like to introduce you to a group of pastors from throughout the North American division who want to be driven by something else, and that something else is mission. They're trying out a new book released by Pacific Press entitled Becoming a Mission-Driven Church of Excellence, a 5-point plan to move your church from ordinary to exceptional. They couldn't wait for the book to come out. They've decided to form a pilot group to test out these 5 steps to see if they work. They have stories to tell.
A few churches around the North American division have already begun piloting mission-driven strategies in their churches. Steve Jenks is new to his district. For him, the mission-driven approach is coming just at the right time. He studied the local town's metropolitan demography and shared the results with his pastor colleagues, even taking the daring step of crossing conference lines to do so. Jim Moon developed a strategy in an area where many Adventist churches have had difficulty taking root. He and his members discovered that the key is to build up relationships.
A friend of mine and I, on Tuesday, we try to just get together and we go out into our community and we take flowers, we take chocolates, we take a note of encouragement, and we just pray before we do it, and we just go find people that we can bless.
There's a group of people within our church that are just so loving and caring that whenever they find out like anything's going on in your life, and they just, ask if there's anything that you need or there's anything that they can do, and they just kind of keep track of you and just make sure that you're doing okay.
Harold Thomas and his strategy leader, Tama Curry, are working hard in integrating strategy throughout every church department. They've done an internal analysis as a basis for developing a robust strategic plan.
If department heads would talk across the line, one of the aspects of a mission-driven church is that we communicate with each other. The departments, the ministries communicate.
The Jefferson Avenue Church in Rochester decided to become a mission-driven church. Their mission statement was so important, they composed a song to help them remember it. Ali McTanog is strategically building a mission team by helping his members learn better principles of social communication. Recently, the congregation purchased property and moved to a prominent spot on a main thoroughfare, so they could invite the community into a warm and loving church. David Baker is using a mission-driven plan to build a sense of a united team in his multicultural congregation. They're practicing the art of welcoming visitors with the goal of becoming the warmest church in town. Dave Resendez has a youth team ministering to disadvantaged children who live across the street from the church. Many children, like this 8-year-old, enjoy coming to church and fellowshipping with the church family. In a small district in Virginia, Roland Hill got his new church to focus strategically on mission. The direct result was the first baptisms in 5 years and a 200% increase in church attendance. After pastoring for many years, Florida pastor Bob Hayes discovered the power of mission. He was experiencing pastoral burnout and decided to quit the pastorate when the Florida Conference instituted a life-changing church transformation program.
In those seminars, they shared with us how to take your congregation from being a program-centered church to being a mission-driven church. So what effect has going through the church transformation process had on our congregation? Well, number one, we're becoming known in our community as a people who go about doing good. And the fruit of that is that on Sabbath morning, we see visitors from the community coming to see what we're all about. We see growth in the lives of church members. We see more of them reflecting more of the character of Jesus. I feel more fulfilled now in my ministry and my life than I ever have. I'm experiencing truly what pastoring is all about, and that is training and equipping people to fulfill the gospel commission. And there's no greater joy than to be in that spot in ministry than being an equipper and trainer in the hands of Jesus Christ.
Now, what is this book, Mission Driven Church? It's a hands-on resource for pastors and church board members that takes your church step by step on a journey to missional excellence. Very practical with online resources, tons of ideas, video clips, ready-made templates, absolutely free that you can use for your congregation so you don't have to start from scratch or reinvent the wheel. This book is a project of the North American Division. Every pastor receives a complimentary copy along with the Leader's Guide with suggestions how to get started. Do you have your copy? We invite you to join these pastors in a rewarding future of church transformation.